With regards to the background of the company, I assume that you already checked our website, so I think I don't already have to answer this. But I'm clipping a PDF file here just to be sure, and I also going to send an email to you.
Vision. Drawing strength from a rich history, we will be the best, most admired and innovative financial services institution, partnering with our customers, employees, and shareholders in wealth creation. Mission. We will be a leading provider of quality services consistently delivered to institutions, entrepreneurs, and individuals here and abroad to meet their financial needs and exceed their rising expectations. We will be a primary catalyst in the creation of wealth for our customers, driven by a desire to help them succeed through a highly motivated team of competent and empowered professionals, guided by in-depth knowledge of their needs and supported by leading-edge technology. We will maintain the highest ethical standards, sense of responsibility, and fairness with respect to our customers, employees, shareholders, and the communities we serve. Core values: integrity, high performance standards, commitment to quality, customer service focus, concern for people, efficiency, and resourcefulness or initiative.
First of all, China Bank is not just a businessman's bank. Through the years, it has been the right banking partner of a lot of people. We are a bank that provides young professionals with savings and investment options. For the last 94 years, China Bank has been growing, improving, and evolving, and continues to expand its branch network and electronic banking channels. Building and sustaining strong relationships with customers by being very accessible and offering banking solutions that are relevant to them and responsive to their needs. For the corporate size, I'm not actually sure for the actual info. So I'm going to include here our annual report of 2015 just to be sure. Fitch Ratings has affirmed the Philippines-based China Banking Corporation's China Bank ratings, including its long-term foreign currency issuer default ratings at BB, viability rating at BB, and national long-term rating of AA in the Philippines, while the Capital Intelligence firm China Bank's financial strength ratings at BBB with stable outlook. So I think you can always find this is on our site. I'm just going to paste here a picture of our organizational structure, or I'm going to send it via email. This came from our annual report of 2015, just for you to know. Bros, you mean rolls? Okay. If I could remember, there are 8 major roles and 6 major functions of a treasury department. The 8 major roles are cash forecasting, working capital management, cash management, investment management, treasury risk management, credit rating agency relations, bank relation, fundraising. And the 6 major roles are cash management, contacts with banks, rating agencies, finance procurement, investments, liquidity planning or control, management of currency, interest and commodity risk, corporate e-finance. And hindi ko na masyadong ma-explain to I understand na finance students kayo. I think the set standards can be seen in the job description, but holding a treasury position is hard. So that means that you have to demonstrate knowledge and skills required to effectively execute critical functions related to corporate liquidity, capital, and risk management. To assist, monitor, plan and manage the efficient utilization of cash and financial services in a manner consistent with the objectives of the company. That's just the main objective of corporate. Some of the essential duties and responsibilities of corporate treasury manager are to provide everyday cash position, eliminate and analysis, maintain correct estimate of cash CP balances, management corporate card, ACH debits, merchant credit cards and lockbox, ensure to check outsourcing as well as electronic payments, assist tax plus law, departments on transaction and banking associated to international entity, establishment of restructuring, development, everyday cash position report comprising of forecasting every week cash receipts plus disbursements. But some companies make a month-to-month cash position. And support to manage short-term investment balances along with interest recording. There are different kinds of treasury managers. There are risk takers and there are also risk averse. Now, it depends on their strategy on whether they will be profitable or not. Okay. First contribution is managing risk. Treasurers manage several key risks related to changes in interest rates, credit, currency, commodities, and operations. Different companies face different risks of varying degrees. Second, liquidity risk. Perhaps the most important risk a treasurer must manage is liquidity risk, or the risk that the comply with it will run out of cash either from insufficient revenue, excessive expenditure, or the inability to access funds from banks and other internal sources. Third, credit risk. Surplus cash can be invested to earn interest, and the treasurer must be sure that those issuing or ensuring securities are financially sound and creditworthy. One way to do this is by checking an issuer's credit rating, which provides an independent assessment of the likelihood of the third party will pay on time and in as full as expected. Fourth, currency risk in addition to credit risk. Exporting companies face currency transaction risk. Transaction risk when they translate profit from foreign sales into home currencies. Fifth, interest rate risk. Borrowing at variability interest rates allows companies to pay less if market interest rates fall, but raises their cost if rates goes up. If a company does not pay interest because of insufficient cash, it may run into liquidity crisis that could undermine its ability to raise debt in future, or to raise it only at higher interest rates that reflect its heightened credit risks to lenders. And six is operational risk. Operational risk is an internal treasury risk that reflects inadequate operation controls that could lead to loss of company value. An example of inadequate control must be if a treasury dealer borrows money under a company loan agreement, apparently for a business purpose, but transfers the proceeds to his or own bank account because the treasurer is able to undertake both dealings and funds transfer activities. And lastly, risk policies. The Treasury Department's action and its compliance with Treasury policies must be assessed independently and regularly by the Internal Audit Department and by a Treasury Committee comprised of senior management, including the Treasurer. This committee, or an Asset and Liability Committee, will also regularly review and discuss financial risk across the company's assets and liabilities and agree on appropriate actions to manage or transfer them. Didn't I just answer this? Okay, I'm just gonna list all our subsidiaries and affiliates here. But of course, these companies have different mutual benefits from us. These are China Bank Savings Incorporated, Planters Development Bank, China Bank Properties and Computer Center Incorporated, China Bank Insurance Brokers Incorporated, Manulife China Bank Life Assurance Corporation, and the Bank of China. I'm afraid that this can only be answered by my ranking officer, and I can't divulge any more answers. As to the registration, the SEC can use several rules to disqualify the stock offering, but first, primarily the Corporate Council issue a test the waters document to our investors, but only ones that follow specific SEC guidelines and which have been submitted in advance. And then after reviewing the preliminary reports, and which will be then submitted for SEC qualifications. Afterwards, the Corporate Council will respond to all SEC letters relating to the preliminary circular. Buying and selling securities depends on the decision of the investment broker and the treasury manager. But as a rule of thumb, buy low, sell high. Is it okay if I just list it all here? Unit Investment Trust Funds, China Bank Money Market Fund, China Bank Institutional Money Market Fund, China Bank Short-Term Fund, China Bank Intermediate Fixed Income Fund, China Bank GS Fund, China Bank Balance Fund, China Bank Equity Fund, China Bank High Dividend Equity Fund, and the China Bank Dollar Fund. Of course, some of our securities are included in the exemptions and transactions. I'm sorry, but I cannot divulge any more answers that I need to. Of course, it will be beneficial. First, because investors will be enticed with our product because it is following the BSP's and SEC's guidelines. Second, because it is registered, it is legal. And third, the investors are assured that the securities are safe and free, fraudulent free. Now, in registering all our securities, we assure you that we are following the SEC's rules and regulations, and I think that almost all the companies that usually offer securities follow the six SEC's rules and regulations and exemptions. First, communicate consistently. Second, take advantage of social media. Third, be honest and upfront. Of course, how do you think we survived for 95 years? We delegate, it's more efficient that way, and as to how, I think I'm not in the position to answer that indiscriminately. We follow the SEC's and BSP rules and regulations. We always uphold the law. Of course, a centralized treasury role is extremely efficient regarding business decisions. Branch managers typically develop the company's mission and vision and set objectives for managers and employees to follow when achieving these goals. Employees will eventually perceive the company's mission and vision through different business situations and simply adjust their work style accordingly. This will create an organizational structure by default with no serious planning involved.